So here's a thought. With the upcoming God Valley movie, I got to thinking, I wonder if Gil Bastar, or at least Gil Bastar's people, are worshippers of the rain goddess known as Zaza. Because here's the weird part, Zaza has four arms, right? And she's the only humanoid creature that we've seen that has four arms. However, there is another, and that is Gil Bastar. And I've been thinking over the time that he's been revealed that he could possibly be a fish man, but seeing as how he can seemingly retract his extra arms, kind of like Stitch from Disney's Lilo and Stitch, I'm thinking he's a entirely different kind of people than Fishman. So I wonder, seeing as how there possibly could be a four-armed people out there in the One Piece world, that maybe they are worshippers of Zaza. Now, another interesting thing, we know that the extra arms aren't a part of a Devil Fruit ability, because as a zombie on Thriller Bark, he has multiple arms there. Possibly, seeing as how his body is a corpse now, he just lost the ability to retract those arms in death. So, that's an interesting take as well. And of course, we know based on the manga and the SBS that he was the previous user of the Hollow Hollow fruit before Perona. So we know that the Hollow Hollow fruit doesn't allow you to grow extra limbs. So this has to be a completely physiological thing specific to him. And what's weird about him too is that in Wanted, which was a one shot before One Piece, so that makes him similar to Ryuma, he can actually see ghosts. So that makes him weirdly more spiritual than other characters in One Piece. Now, I've talked about in the past that I wonder if that's a natural capability, or is that a capability granted to him by the Hollow Hollow fruit that he could just communicate and see ghosts. I'm not sure, but it does make me think. I do wonder if Zaza is a deity from his people, seeing as how he is the only other person or character in One Piece with four arms. So there could possibly be a four-armed tribe whom are one of the people, at least, who worship Zaza specifically. And I think that's very interesting. What's interesting too is that we know that, at least in Wanted, Gil Bastar seems to come from some sort of Wild West island. So maybe they worship the rain deity due to them not having a lot of rainfall. So they are in a similar situation to, say, Alabasta, perhaps, in being like a weird summer island. Maybe that's the case. But that's a very interesting thought. And I hope either in the God Valley movie or sometime soon, we get a firmer breakdown as to just who Gil Bastar is in the world of One Piece after being made canon as a part of the Rocks Pirates. Because even in the manga, he doesn't have any speaking roles, which is really weird, because you would think that he would say something, but he doesn't. You would think he would get some special treatment, seeing as how he's from a one shot outside of the usual One Piece canon, but now he's been brought into the fold. You just think he would have some more dialogue, but he just doesn't. We just see him in random shots and in weird faraway shots. So I do think there's a lot building up for him in the future, and I do think he possibly could be related to Zaza, or his people perhaps worship or maybe even made Zaza, and then, like Nika, Zaza's worship spread throughout the One Piece world. Perhaps that's the case too. Don't know, but I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention, seeing as how God Valley is being emphasized in a cinematic event, and Gil Bassar most likely is going to be in that movie, as he was a pretty prominent Rocks pirate at the time of the event. We don't know what happens to him afterward. All we know is that in the current story, he is dead because, of course, like I said, he is a zombie on Thriller Bark, which somebody in the SBS called out pretty randomly, which was odd. But yeah, there he is. So we'll have to wait and see what actually happens with him and how exactly he died in order for Perona to get his fruit. Because that's a bit odd as well, seeing as how now you could say she and he are connected through this weird ghost generating power. But with that being said, if you are enjoying the video so far, click the like button. And if you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button followed by that bell so you never miss a video. In addition to, if you could, hit the hype button because it really does help. And with that being said, give me your thoughts and tell your friends about Polypede Works.